So if you're an aspiring or beginner home bartender and you're wondering how to set up your home bar, this is the correct video for you. My name is Ron Virpin. I'm a full-time medical doctor and I've been a home bartender for over 5 years now. During that time, I've learned how to make over 100 different cocktails and I've thrown over 50 cocktail parties. And I teach other busy professionals how to make cocktails at home. And in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys the exact method that I used to build my home bar, to set up my home bar when I was first starting this journey back in the middle of 2020. And I made my first cocktail in June 2020, but my journey actually starts even before that. Because I would say in the 5 to 6 years before that, I was thinking into getting into home bartending. I would say at least 2 or 3 different times when I was in college and when I was in medical school. And then obviously took the COVID-19 pandemic to really push me to start the whole journey of home bartending in June 2020. So there were several different times when I thought about home bartending. And really one of the biggest barriers to entry that I would say is that it's very overwhelming to think about the whole process of setting up your home bar. And I was on YouTube a lot. I only started this channel about 6-7 months ago, but before that I was consuming YouTube a lot. I was watching a lot of bartending YouTube and things like that, and I still do that to this day as well. But a lot of the big bartending YouTubers have these videos titled things like the first 10 bottles to start your home bar with, or the 15 most important bottles for your home bar, or the the essential tools for a home bar, part 1, part 2, each part has 10 different tools. So really like the 15 tools you need to start your home bar, the 20 tools you need to start your home bar. And I watched those videos and I would say they were all pretty helpful and things like that. But also at the same time, they're also overwhelming because you think that when you're trying to start your home bar, you need to go out and buy 10, 15, 20 different tools. You think you need to go out and buy 10, 15 different bottles of alcohol, and then 5 different fruit juices, and then 4 different syrups and things like that. And in my opinion, that's really not the way to go out and buy your home bar or to set up your home bar. I would say to buy the ingredients and the equipment for your home bar. The correct way to do it is the way that I did it all the way back in 2020. And then when I moved from, when I finished my residency in 2023 and I moved from New York State back to my hometown of Las Vegas, I did it a second time. I didn't have to buy the tools again, obviously, but then I had to buy the ingredients again. So I've set up my home bar 2 different times over these past 5 years. And the way that I did it, I believe, is the correct way to do it because it's sustainable, it's affordable, and it's easy to do when you have a busy personal or professional life, or both, like I myself do, and you all that are watching, that are parents, that are in relationships, that work busy jobs in tech or medicine or finance or corporate or whatever the case may be. You have busy personal and professional lives. Bartending is not your job. It's a hobby. You want it to be a good hobby, but you want to get started without getting too overwhelmed. I think you have to go out and buy all these different tools and ingredients to start your home bar. So to set up your home bar, there's really 2 categories of what you need. There's equipment or bar tools, and then there's ingredients, which includes alcohol, of course. So that's how I'll go ahead and divide this video. Let's start off with the equipment or the bar tools. And in business, there's this concept called MVP. I love sports also, so an MVP in sports, that's something you guys are probably all familiar with. It means most valuable player. But in business, MVP means minimal viable product. And that's the concept that I like to use here to find out what bar tools that I needed to start my home bartending that I think should be the bar tools that you guys start your home bartending journey with. What is really the MVP, the minimal viable product in terms of bar tools to start your home bartending journey? And like I said, there's videos talking about the 10 most important tools, 15 most important tools, 20 most important tools, part 1, part 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think you even need 5 tools to really start your home bartending journey. I think you need just 4 tools, and those are the 4 tools that I have here. And in order of importance, the most important tool is going to be the jigger. And people have 4 or 5 different jiggers. I think you really just need 1 jigger, and that's the barfly jigger that I have here. The reason this is so effective is that within 1 jigger, you're able to measure 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, 2.5 ounces, and then 3/8 of an ounce. 7 different types of measurements with just 1 jigger. And this covers, from my experience, I know over 100 different recipes. This covers somewhere between 95 and 98% of all pours, all ingredient pours and measurements that you need for your cocktails. I have this second jigger just to measure 1/4 ounce, and that's extremely rare. So if you just want 1 jigger, that'll get the job done 95 to 98% of the time, go ahead and buy the barfly jigger. You can even use this to measure 1/4 ounce because there's a 1/2 ounce, so you can just eyeball and say half of 1/2 ounce, that's a 1/4 ounce. So this will get the job done pretty much all the time. And this is important for measuring your ingredients. So this is used for pretty much I would say not pretty much. This is used for all cocktails that you make. All cocktails, you have to measure the ingredients correctly. Bartending, unlike cooking, bartending is a science. It's based on precision and measurements. So it's important to have high quality tools to measure. So this is the jigger that I swear by, the jigger that I've used for over 5 years now, the Barfly jigger. And this jigger, as well as the other 3 tools, are all going to be listed in the description below, links to buy them. So this one is from Barfly. The other 3 tools are going to be from Cocktail Kingdom. So like I said, I'll put different links for each of the different tools here. After that, equally important are the next 2 tools. So one is going to be the shaker. This is called a Boston shaker. There's different types of shakers. There's a cobbler shaker, which has 3 components actually. It has the main shaker body, then it has a head with the strainer built in, and then it has a cap on top of that. And then this is a Boston shaker, which is 2 different tins that you combine like this and go like this to give it a good seal like that. And there's 2 different types of this as well. There's one that, this is the metal on metal one, which I believe is, in my opinion, is the preferred one. There's also one where one of the components is a pint glass. I don't like that one as much because obviously glass, not as durable as metal, so glass has potential to break. This is gonna be a lot safer. And this is from Cocktail Kingdom, like a lot of the other tools here. This is the weighted one from Corico. And weighted I like because when you're pouring stuff, it won't really tip over. So that's why this is effective. And I prefer this shaker far more than the cobbler shaker. And this is true for a lot of the other bartenders on YouTube and also professional bartenders from my experience. The cobbler shaker can get stuck with that cap that's on top. So that's why I really don't like that as much. This is a lot easier to work with as a home bartender especially. You know, the cobbler shaker has a built-in strainer, but you can just go ahead and buy a strainer at some point too. I don't think this is essential when you're first starting off your home bartending journey, but when you get a few months in, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, something like that, you can go ahead and buy the strainer. So this shaker is essential to making all of your shaken cocktails. And then when you want to make stirred cocktails, you need a high quality bar spoon or stirring spoon. And this one from Cocktail Kingdom is the one that I've been using for over 5 years now. I bought it in, I believe in September 2020, and it's literally the exact same one that I still have here. It's held up, it stood the test of time, it stirred hundreds and hundreds of different cocktails over these years. So if you want to, when it comes to making cocktails, you need a high quality jigger to measure your ingredients. You need a high quality shaker to shake your shaken cocktails. And then you need a high quality bar spoon to stir your stirred cocktails. So like those are really the 2 main categories of cocktails. Cocktails are either shaken or stirred. So you need a high quality shaker and you need a high quality stirring spoon or bar spoon. And then of course a jigger to measure your ingredients. That's going to be important for both types of cocktails. And then finally after that is going to be ice. This one I would say is going to be 4th most important of these different tools because ice you can also get in large bags from your grocery store. You can get it from your freezer. You can use a generic ice cube tray. So there's lots of different options. And Cocktail Kingdom has a lot of great different ice cube trays. I actually also have their rectangular prisms for the Collins glasses. And then I have their larger ice cubes as well for old fashions and things like that. But the one most effective one, if you can only buy 1 ice cube tray from them, go ahead and buy this one. This is the smaller ice cubes, the 1-inch ice cubes. This is really going to give you the most bang for your buck. These ice cubes work in shaken cocktails. They work in stirred cocktails. They work in highballs or build cocktails. They work whether you're serving your drinks in lowball glasses, highball glasses, solo cups, plastic cups, whatever the case may be. These are the most effective ice cube. This is the most effective ice cubes. This is really where you get the most bang for your buck in terms of ice cubes. And even though these are just seem like basic cubes, you still will get a lot of compliments from your friends. These are a huge step up from the basic ice cubes that you get from your freezer or your grocery store or the basic ice cube trays. These are really a huge step up. So that's why I say those are important too. So just to summarize, when you buy the bar tools for your home bar, you don't have to go out and buy 20 different tools, 15 different tools, 10 different tools, or even 5 different tools. You really just need 4 tools to be an effective beginner home bartender. And this will really serve you throughout your whole journey too. Even when you're more advanced like myself, I go to other people's houses to make cocktails all the time. This is really all I bring. I don't even bring the ice cube tray all the time. I just usually just bring the other 3, the shaker, the jigger, and the bar spoon. So the 4 most important tools you need to really set up your home bar: the jigger, this is going to be from Barfly, and then the shaker, the bar spoon, and the ice cube tray are going to be from Cocktail Kingdom. This is really all you need to get started as a home bartender. You don't need to go out and break the bank and buy tons and tons of different tools. This is all you need. So that handles equipment and bar tools. Let's move on to the other side, which is going to be your ingredients. And like I said, there's all these overwhelming videos about how you need to buy 10 to 15 different bottles of alcohol, and then you need to go out and buy 3 different bitters and 5 different juices and 4 different syrups. That's really all gets too overwhelming. The way I started my home bartending journey was that I picked one cocktail and I bought the ingredients for that one cocktail. And then when I got good at making that cocktail, I made that cocktail for myself and other people. Then I would go ahead and pick another cocktail, buy the ingredients for that cocktail, and so on and so forth. And this is really how you get started, because in June 2020, I had absolutely 0 ingredients in my kitchen, in my pantry for making cocktails. And just a few years later, I would say some point in 2022, like 2.5 years later, I believe at that point I had somewhere between 35 and 40 bottles of alcohol. On top of that, 6 bottles of bitters, which is also alcohol, but I count it separately. And then like 5 different juices in my fridge and 4 different syrups and all these different types of things like that. So that's how I built my home bar. And then in 2023, I finished my residency in New York State and I moved back to my hometown of Las Vegas. I brought a few bottles of bitters and I brought like 1 expensive bottle of whiskey or scotch that was a graduation present from a friend. But really all the other ingredients I had either finished or I'd given away to my friends that were staying there. So I started this whole journey a second time in terms of buying ingredients. And that's the way I did it at that time too. I picked a cocktail, bought the ingredients for that cocktail, then picked another cocktail, bought the ingredients for that cocktail. And the cocktail that I made when I first started was a Negroni, which contains these 3 ingredients, gin, sweet vermouth, and then Campari. And then another great beginner cocktail, I would say if I was starting my journey all over again, I would go with the daiquiri. It's the reason the daiquiri is the first video on this YouTube channel as well. That requires just rum, lime juice, and simple syrup. I think this is an even better beginner cocktail because like the Negroni also only uses 3 ingredients, but 2 of the ingredients, lime juice and simple syrup, are non-alcoholic, so they're gonna be less expensive as opposed to the alcoholic ingredients that are in the Negroni. And this is my own homemade simple syrup, but for the first 2 years of my journey as a home bartender, I use store-bought simple syrup, so you can use that as well. So that's really the way to start as a home bartender. And when you move on to the second cocktail, you can do it like this, where you just pick the daiquiri, buy the 3 ingredients for that. Then you go to the Negroni for your next cocktail, buy the 3 ingredients for that. If you want to do it even easier way, start with the daiquiri, buy the 3 ingredients: rum, lime juice, simple syrup. Then for your second cocktail, pick something like the gin gimlet, which contains gin, lime juice, simple syrup. So you only have to buy 1 new ingredient, but you get an entirely new cocktail. You don't have to go out and buy 3 or 4 new ingredients. So try to find cocktails that have overlap like that. And that's really how you kind of build that ladder. So you don't always have to be buying so many new ingredients. Just buy rum, lime juice, simple syrup. Then you buy a bottle of gin. Then you make the gin gimlet. That's a completely new cocktail. Then you go ahead and buy a bottle of bourbon and a bottle of lemon juice. So just 2 new ingredients, but that allows you to make the whiskey sour, which is a completely new cocktail. So try to find some overlap like that, which will make it even easier to get this journey started. So just to summarize, when it comes to ingredients, the best way and most effective way to do that is to just pick one cocktail and buy all the ingredients for that cocktail, make that cocktail, get good at that cocktail. Then when you're interested in making your second cocktail, go out and buy the ingredients for that cocktail and try to find some overlaps to make it even easier. That way you don't have to spend all your time and money trying to buy and acquire new ingredients and things like that for your cocktail bar. And this is really the sustainable and effective way to do that. So really just to summarize, when it comes to setting up your home bar, there's 2 categories. There's going to be bar tools or equipment, and there's going to be ingredients. For bar tools, just go ahead and buy the 4 bar tools that I've listed here: the Jigger, the Boston shaker, the bar spoon, and then the ice cube tray. All of the links for these 4 different tools will be in the description below. When it comes to ingredients, pick whatever cocktail you want to make. I think the daiquiri and the Negroni are great options, but there's tons of other great ones as well. Pick a cocktail, buy the ingredients for that cocktail, make the cocktail, get good at that cocktail, then move on to the next cocktail, buy the ingredients for that, try to find some overlap to make it even easier, and then go out like that, and that'll really help you build up your home bar. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to go out and buy 10 different tools and 20 different bottles and whatever the case may be. Just buy the 4 tools here, buy the 3 or 4 ingredients for your first cocktail, and get started, make your first cocktail, share that cocktail with other people, enjoy the cocktail, and that's how you get started as a home bartender. Really, with these tools and then the ingredients for the daiquiri, you can get started for less than $100 US in the year 2025. And with that, you can really call yourself a home bartender. You can make your first cocktail, you can serve that cocktail to other people, you can enjoy that cocktail, and that's how this whole journey starts, with just one cocktail. And once you get started, you'll have that momentum and that'll carry you through. It's carried me for over 5 years now, and I see it carrying me for many more years down the road as well. Anyways, that's all I have for today's video. If you found the advice in this video helpful, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I really like to do 2 styles of videos on this channel. One will be where I do tutorials on how to make specific cocktails, and the second style of video will be like this one, where I share tips and tricks and stories and give guides and advice and things like that that I hope will help you guys become better home bartenders. Thank you. Cheers.